Hey everyone, me Kevin here. I took the entire Tesla Battery Day event and cut it down to the highlights. Here you go. And if you like my work, make sure to check out the links down below for a free stock with Webull, life insurance you can get in as little as 5 minutes, and of course my awesome programs on making money through investing in real estate and stocks. Enjoy.
We got the Tesla drive-in movie theater, basically. It's good to see everyone. It's a little hard to read the room, and we'll see the Shanghai factory continue to scale quite a bit from where it is right now. I think we really could expect that to be, over time, a factory that produces over 1 million vehicles a year. You know, I think the value of Tesla is going to be like total, just on the vehicle side, total vehicles produced times the value of autonomy. That's a way to think about the future value of Tesla. And I think we'll do really pretty well in 2020. Probably somewhere between 30 to 40% growth, despite a lot of very difficult circumstances. And you can see it in the safety report that we publish every quarter. It's just getting better and better. The U.S. average for collisions is at roughly 2.1 per million miles. And with autopilot engaged, it's 0.3. I think we'll hopefully release a private beta of autopilot, or the full self-driving version of autopilot, in I think a month or so, and then people will really understand just the magnitude of the change. It's profound.
We have a plan to halve the cost per kilowatt hour. And so when we put it all together and go to our new 80 millimeter length, 4680, we call this new cell design, we get 5 times the energy with 6 times the power and enable 16% range increase, just form factor alone. Just the cell form factor change enables a 14% dollar per kilowatt hour reduction, just that cell form factor change.
It's close to working, but it's not, even now at the pilot plant level, it is close to working. Well, it's fair to say it does work, but with not a high yield.
Yeah,
so
we're still ironing out the kinks, but we've made tens of thousands of cells, thousands of kilometers of electrode. I mean, we are on the 4th generation of the equipment, so we've learned a lot along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, it is super demanding because every atom has its place if you want to deliver the energy density and the cycle life and the supercharging.
Yeah.
But we're confident that we will get there, but it will be a lot of work along the way.
There's a clear path to success, but a ton of work between here and there.
Yep.
So, but this is a really profound improvement. Again, for people that know battery manufacturing, this is gigantic.
The key to a high-performing assembly line is accomplishing processes while in motion, continuous motion, and thinking of the line as a highway, max velocity down the highway, no start and stop, no city driving.
Exactly, no stoplights and traffic lights or anything. You want the highway.
I want the highway.
Yeah.
And we were able to get to the point where we can implement assembly lines, one line, 20 gigawatt hours, 7 times increase in output per line. And when you're thinking about scalability and pure effort, having one line be 7x the capability is just effort multiplying.
Yeah. You would be astounded at how bad most factories are. They're like maybe 2 or 3%, including our factory in Fremont. So I think it is possible to get to at least 10 times that volumetric efficiency. So more like 30% ish, maybe more. And be 10x better, which means the factory can be 10 times smaller. And then the other thing is, how fast are things going through the factory? It's like speed and density. The faster you go, like if a factory that's moving at say twice the speed of another factory is equivalent to 2 factories basically. And the company that will be successful is the company that with one factory can accomplish what other companies take 2 or 3 or 4 factories to do. So this is what we're trying to do here is say, okay, how do we, with one factory, achieve what maybe 5 or even 10 factories would normally be required to achieve? What this translates to, based on what we know today, is about a 75% reduction in the investment per kilowatt hour or gigawatt hour. It's just basically 4 times better than the current state of the art to the best of our knowledge. And I think there's probably room to improve even beyond that.
Definitely.
Definitely, yeah. We're expecting to make on the order of 3,000 gigawatt hours or 3 terawatt hours per year. I think we can I think we've got a good chance of achieving this actually before 2030. But I accomplished what other companies take 2 or 3 or 4 factories to do. So this is what we're trying to do here: is say, okay, how do we with one factory achieve what maybe 5 or even 10 factories would normally be required to achieve? What this translates to, based on what we know today, is about a 75% reduction in the investment per kilowatt hour or gigawatt hour. It's just basically 4 times better than the current state of the art to the best of our knowledge. And I think there's probably room to improve even beyond that.
Definitely.
Definitely, yeah. We're expecting to make on the order of 3,000 gigawatt hours or 3 terawatt hours per year. I think I think we've got a good chance of achieving this actually before 2030, but I'm highly confident that we could do it by 2030.
When you look at the size of that factory on the previous page, it really shows how enabling all of these advancements are in achieving a 3 terawatt hour goal by 2030. It's also an additional 18% reduction in dollar per kilowatt hour at the battery pack level.
But wait, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
You know, it's a small world journey of I am a nickel atom. What happens to me? And it's crazy. Like, you're going around the world 3 times. There's like the moral equivalent of like digging the ditch, filling the ditch, and digging the ditch again. It's total madness, basically. And so we've looked at the entire value chain and said, how can we make this as simple as possible?
And that's what we're proposing here with our process. As you can see, a whole lot less is going on here. We get rid of the intermediate, metal, water, final product cathode, recirculate the water, no wastewater at all. And when you summarize all of that, it's a 66% reduction in CapEx investment, a 76% reduction in process cost, and 0 wastewater. Much more scalable solution.
Yeah. We actually got rights to a lithium clay deposit in Nevada.
Over 10,000 acres.
Over 10,000 acres. And then the nature of the mining is actually, I think, also very environmentally sensitive in that we sort of take a chunk of dirt out of the ground, or remove the lithium, and then put the chunk of dirt back where it was. So it will look pretty much the same as before, and it will not look like terrible, and yeah, it'll be nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So
simply mix clay with salt, put it in water, salt comes out with the lithium, done. I
yeah,
mean,
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. 33% reduction in lithium cost, 100% electric facility co-located with the cathode plant. So we're really excited about this, and there really is enough lithium in Nevada alone to electrify the entire U.S. fleet.
Yeah, I think that's true. Actually, just what's in Nevada. That's basically there's so much damn lithium on Earth, it's crazy.
We are starting our pilot full-scale recycling production at Gigafactory Reno next quarter to continue to develop this process as our recycling returns grow.
Yeah, I mean, to date it's been done by third parties, but we think we can recycle the batteries more effectively, especially since we know our batteries, we're making the same battery as the thing we're recycling. So whereas like third-party recyclers have to consider batteries of all kinds, what we call it the structural battery, where the battery for the first time will have dual use. The battery will both have the use as an energy device and as structure. This is absolutely the way things are done. In the early days of aircraft, they would carry the fuel tanks as cargo. So the fuel tanks actually were quite difficult to carry. They were like basically worse than cargo. You had to kind of bolt them down. It was very difficult. And then somebody said, hey, what if we just make the wing tanks, what if we just make the fuel tank in wing shape? So all modern airplanes, the fuel tank, your wing is just a fuel tank in wing shape. This is absolutely the way to do it. And then the fuel tank serves as dual structure, and it's no longer cargo. It's fundamental to the structure of the aircraft. This was a major breakthrough. We're doing the same for cars. It also allows us to pack the cells more densely because we do not have intermediate structure in the battery pack. So instead of having these like supports and stabilizers and stringers and structural elements in the battery, we now have a lot more space in the battery because the pack itself is structural. Basically a honeycomb sandwich with 2 face sheets. This is actually even better than what aircraft do, because aircraft do not do this. They can't do this because fuel is liquid. So in our case, the batteries are solid. So we can actually use the steel shell case of the battery to transfer shear from the upper and lower face sheet, which makes for an incredibly stiff structure, even stiffer than a regular car. So if you can bring things closer to the center, you reduce the polar moment of inertia, and that means the car maneuvers better. It just feels better. You don't know why, but it just feels more agile. So it's really cool. This is really major. Like I said, so 10% mass reduction in the body of the car, 14% range increase, 370 fewer parts. I mean, I really think that long term, in any cars that do not take this architecture will not be competitive.
Range increase, we're unlocking up to 54% increase in range for our vehicles and energy density for our energy products. 56% reduction in dollars per kilowatt hour at the battery pack level, and a 69% reduction in investment per gigawatt hour, which is the true enabler when we talk back about how do we achieve this scale problem here.
Yeah, so what this enables us to do is achieve a new trajectory in the reduction of cell cost. And now, to be clear, it will take us probably a year to 18 months to start realizing these advantages, and probably to fully realize the advantages, probably it's about 3 years or thereabouts. So, it's not like if we could do this instantly, we would. But so, what tends to happen as companies get bigger is things tend to slow down. Actually, they're going to speed up.
And they have to speed up if we're going to accelerate the transition to sustainable energy.
Yeah. I mean, long term, we want to try to replace about, at least 1% of the total vehicle fleet on Earth, which is about 2 billion vehicles. So long term, we want to try to make about 20 million vehicles a year. What does it mean? What does this mean for our future products? We're confident that long term we can design and manufacture a compelling $25,000 electric vehicle. This has always been our dream from the beginning of the company. I even wrote a blog piece about it because our first car was an expensive sports car, and then it was like slightly less expensive sedan, and then finally sort of a mass market premium, but like the Model 3 and Model Y. But it was always our goal to try to make an affordable electric car, and I think probably, like I said, about 3 years from now, we're confident we can make a very compelling $25,000 electric vehicle that's also fully autonomous.
And when you think about the $25,000 price point, you have to consider how much less expensive it is to own an electric vehicle.
Yeah.
So actually, it becomes even more affordable at that $25,000 price point.
Yeah. So we have and extreme performance and range. And we should probably talk about the Model S Plaid. What about that? We took the latest Plaid out to Laguna Seca on Sunday. It got a minute 30, and we think probably there's another 3 seconds or more to take off that time. So we're confident the Model S Plaid will achieve the best track time of any production vehicle ever, of any kind, two-door or otherwise. And you can order it now, and it's available basically end of next year.
Is it going to be possible to get climate control to the back of the Cybertruck? Because that would be the ultimate camping machine if we can get all-night climate control.
We'll try to do that. Yeah. I agree. That would be available basically end of next year.
Is it going to be possible to get climate control to the back of the Cybertruck? Because that would be the ultimate camping machine if we can get all-night climate control.
We'll try to do that. Yeah. I agree. That would be really cool.
How does the ICE industry look like for in the future?
Well, I don't think there will be an ICE industry long term. Well, it's hard to say what the volume exactly would be for the Cybertruck. The orders are gigantic. So, and we have well over 500,000 orders. I think maybe 600,000. That's a lot, basically. We stopped counting.
Tesla Battery Day just finished up, and Elon and team announced some major changes, some major developments that are going to shape the future of sustainability and transportation. The big message overall was Terra is the new Giga. In order to achieve this future where all forms of transportation are running on zero emissions and sustainable, we need to really kind of increase the amount of output of battery cells, and thus Battery Day. So there are a lot of different ways that Tesla's trying to go about this. The first is cell design. Tesla is updating their cell design to a new
you have to make a few choices about how to spend your Stygia, but now everyone has an option to get the highest ranked conduit, even if you don't do high level Mythic Plus or high rated arena or Mythic raiding. I know I personally won't focus on the PvP conduits, for example, so this gives me a different option for upgrading those. And the more conduits you upgrade naturally in the proper path, the fewer conduits that will be at your lowest ranks, so there's less RNG when you pick up this item to start upgrading things. If you rely entirely on this vendor, an item to upgrade your conduits, that's where you're going to find a problem. It's going to be a huge grind, a painful grind, and honestly, it's probably just not worth your time. But remember, this isn't the only option for upgrading your conduits. In fact, it looks like this is more of a backup for the system as a whole, just in case you aren't able to progress further by yourself in the proper way. It could also work as a catch-up for alts if Stygia is easier to come by later on in the expansion. Personally, I think this is a great addition to the system. The RNG in it is kind of annoying, but I feel like the RNG is actually there to prevent abuse of the system. If you could pick what conduit this upgraded every single time, players would just flock to them all and upgrade their best one right away. Again, that's not what this item is intended to do. It gives you an ulterior collection path and a different option for upgrading conduits that you don't want to upgrade via getting higher item level conduits. That is, of course, assuming that Blizzard didn't just change the entire conduit system without telling us, because, well, that would just be silly now, wouldn't it? Let's quickly talk about the other goodies you can buy from this vendor. The Cipher of Relocation costs 25 Stygia and gives you a quick teleport back to Venari's Refuge, which is the only actual safe place in the entire Moor zone. I would always recommend keeping at least one of these on you so you can teleport to safety whenever you need to. The mysteriously thrumming orb costs 250 Stygia, and when you use it, it gives you 250 Stygia. Now, during early testing, you actually had a chance to lose half of your total Stygia currency if you died in the Moor zone. This item was a bit of an insurance deal. You can save 250 Stygia in each orb, so you won't lose it upon death. I've actually died a couple times in the Moor without losing Stygia, so either losing Stygia is bugged or simply doesn't happen anymore. So this item could either be a complete Stygia lifesaver or something that gets removed before launch. The Soul Twinning Scepter gives you and a friendly target 5% increased stats for 10 minutes, but you will lose the buff if you are ever more than 100 yards apart. A nice bonus for groups who are playing together, providing you actually, stay together. That will cost you 50 Stygia for 50 charges, which isn't too bad of a deal. The Oil of Ethereal Force increases your movement speed and makes you invisible for about 15 seconds on a 5-minute cooldown. That will also cost you 50 Stygia. Quite useful if you need to get through a densely populated area of the Moor, not too great otherwise. The Oublian Cipher enhances your defenses against the River of Souls, reducing its frequency by 80%. This is pretty important if
Zero boost on this play. Hits a dime, threads that needle. Oh, Carrion wasn't expecting that to come at him. A zero boost play, so good from Polar.
Seeing in the last match players just waiting downfield, not even jumping off the back wall or the corner, but they're just sitting there for 3 or 4 seconds, and the defense completely forgets about them after a while. Almost snuck that goal in, but Solary are going to be forced into a quick retreat. Polar takes the pass from apparently Jack. And this is a good start for Deadmonster and company. They get 2 now up against Solary.
Exotic. This time.
For all of you at home. It's perhaps one of the most
That's a
important
great.
videos I've ever.
I really like this scene. Like this really, it's. This is great.
Ever made on this channel, and I urge you to watch the video in its entirety if you have the time to do so, and I urge you also to share it with a friend if you think they would find it informative or interesting, because I think this supersedes anything that I've done in terms of like PvP vendors, as it affects the game as a whole, and it's something that we need to be talking about as a community. Let's get into it. I'm a little nervous making this video, I'm going to be honest, because I don't want to upset anyone, and I have to say it right now. Please do not use this video to harbor hate towards the development team. I have no ill.
If you do that, like, I swear to God, like, people that get mad at the developers and like start a bunch of shit at the developers are the biggest, dumbest fucking pieces of shit. Like, if you do that, I fucking hate you, because you know what happens whenever you do that? You want to know what happens? Then they stop talking to us because they're like, God, these guys are assholes.
I'm just somebody that's been playing this game for 15 years.
There it is.
And I'm starting to realize that I want to start making videos about stuff that I care about, the things that are actually important to me as a player. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I like making videos on. So that's why I'm making it. But please don't use this as a tool to, you know, start any problems, because that's not what I'm trying to do. And I hope that you can understand that.
Yeah, we do.
And respect that. I'm just trying to get positive change.
We do, right, chat?
We are doing these types of videos. With that being said, let's talk about balancing really quickly. For those of you that are wondering, is Blizzard going to pull it off? There's a lot of conversation. Can they balance covenants? And just newsflash, guys.
No.
They are never going to balance covenants, classes. It just doesn't exist. I mean, that's been around in the game forever. Like, World of Warcraft is an MMO with tons of different variables. It's never going to be balanced. And even more so over the past, recent expansions with like Legion, BFA, and now Shadowlands. Because of these borrowed powered systems, they make it extra hard to keep everything in check. It's just gotten exponentially worse over time, and that's what
I would say that's probably true.
About, because these borrowed powered systems, they require a ton of time to properly implement. They're not easy to get up and running, and the issue with these is that these systems, they don't stay around past one expansion, right? Like they have to reinvent.
I don't like that. I feel like it's like in BC going into Wrath, I knew that I was taking everything in BC into Wrath, and like into Cataclysm, I felt like I was taking everything that I had in Wrath into Cataclysm, and I was becoming like more powerful and stronger as the game went on. And now I don't really ever get that feeling. It's kind of disappointing, man.
The wheel every time they try to do these. You had it in Legion, BFA, and now you're getting it in Shadowlands.
Big true.
And the problem with these systems is that they take the attention away from the classes themselves, right?
Exactly.
Blizzard has to focus so much time on balancing legendaries and artifact weapons from Legion, or Azerite traits, essences, and corruptions, that they don't get the time to correct all the fundamental problems with certain classes. A great example is the class that many of you hate, and that's the Demon Hunter. Batman, the class was literally created. I remember being at BlizzCon, and there was a little thing where they were showing the Demon Hunter and announcing it, and they were saying like easy to play or great for beginner players. Now I'm sure that was the intention.
Of course it was.
Also because they just used these borrowed powered systems to kind of complete the class, where other classes had tons of time to kind of flesh out all of the issues and have a more solid rotation. And in Legion, they kind of revamped a lot of classes.
Well, I mean, it's obvious that Demon Hunter is made for idiots. Like, I mean, and this isn't like a meme. It has like 3 abilities. I'm sorry, but it's just way easier to play a Demon Hunter than other classes. That's all there is to it. It fucking is. You get mad? It's the Fortnite class? No. Because Fortnite, you need more keybinds to play Fortnite than you do to play a Demon Hunter. Like, you need more keybinds to play, like, Hungry Hippos than you need to play a Demon Hunter. It's insane. You could play a Demon Hunter on a fucking Super Nintendo controller. I'm not even kidding.
Some of those classes, again, that were revamped, it's not just a Demon Hunter, relied on these systems to feel complete, leaving them in BFA to feel very bad and just incomplete. And the Windwalker Monk and the Monk class in general is an example of that. We're going to break those down. But in BFA, we had Azerite traits, essences and corruptions. And then going into Shadowlands, we have even more borrowed powered systems with covenants, soulbinds, conduits, and legendaries. And that's going to take away the attention from the classes. Now, the problem with this is, again, that Blizzard is very slow to correct some of these class issues, right? There's this horrible narrative that Blizzard is out of touch with the community.
That is
the developers have no idea what they're doing. That's what people are talking about. But where does this come from? You know, why?
It comes from making 50% changes in damage differentials. That's where it comes from. That's where I think, so like whenever you nerf something by half, then it's like, oh, they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, that's pretty much what I would think too, actually.
Is this made up? Is this not real?
Yeah.
Is this just hate towards Blizzard? Or
I don't
are
think
there
it's made up at all.
reasons that the community is creating this narrative and Blizzard's doing nothing really to address it?
Yeah.
So let's go into that. So first thing that we're going to look at here, the Monk Shadowlands feedback forums.
Okay.
So a while ago, I made a video, I think it was 2 videos ago, where I discussed solutions to the PvP vendors, and Blizzard kind of responded on Twitter.
They did. That was great.
The Leeds reward designer said that they don't have time to watch videos and they would prefer written summaries. So then I went ahead and said, all right, guys, I want you all to go to the forums and post your feedback there, because that's where
What do you mean don't have time to watch videos? What are you doing? Like, I feel like videos are better than written summaries in a lot of ways, because you can watch or listen to a video while you're doing something else. Faster to read? I don't know. Like, to me, I guess, like, to me, I'd rather, usually I will watch a video while I'm doing something else, but whatever.
Or
it's not that
wanting
bad.
the feedback to be posted. That's where they're looking. That's what they're checking. So
I can see what they're saying.
Okay, this is the Monk feedback forum, and this was created for all classes on April 9th, and it states here in this thread we're discussing Monk class changes coming in Shadowlands. This is this initial post will be updated periodically throughout the Shadowlands test.
Absolutely.
Please check back here for information about further updates to this class as
You
they
love
are
to hear
made.
it.
Okay, the top reply to this comment is literally, come on, man. It takes 20 seconds to think of something to make Mystery for good. Please say something. And that is the key point of this thread.
Look
Blizzard
at that
didn't
face.
respond to
The Keck W, but fucking Pepe hands. Laughing and crying at the same time because of the ridiculousness of the situation. Fuck.
all of the feedback here.
Yeah.
And these are like thesis papers. I mean, some of
This
these,
is a
I mean,
lot.
like, they're insane. Like,
These guys put more work into their forum posts than I ever put into an essay. Like, I have written essays. I have never written a better essay than what I wrote about WoW. Like, in school, I'm like, yeah, so in the book, the guy basically had this problem. And so that's actually an allegory to World War II. And so basically, that's pretty much how it happened. And can I get an A? I don't want to be here next week. That's it. But like when it's WoW, like I've got fucking cross references, sources, footnotes, and everything.
Through some of these, and they're so in depth of all the bugs with the class and issues with the class. And Blizzard finally responded 4 months later. So some classes got responses right away, and some classes got responses 4 months later.
Jesus.
Now Blizzard, what they don't do, what they need to start doing, and we're gonna get to this later. I have a lot of examples of this. They need to start just saying, "Thanks for your feedback. Wow, you guys are killing it with the feedback. Like, we're taking all of this into consideration.
That's a good point to look at.
Keep it coming," or think, you know, just a simple line. But they finally got changes after 4 months. This is, by the way, this is like a month and a half before the expansion even launches when they got their first reply. And then if you go down to the bottom here, you can see all of the bugs that still, these are all of the bugs that still exist with the Monk class today.
Healing's orbs are not in the game like at all. Expel Harm doesn't summon healing orbs. Wait, these are actually, Soothing Breath doesn't heal. Those are big bugs. Like, that's not like, oh, you know, this one ability has this weird interaction that if you attack with an absorbed shield, it, you know, doesn't do damage. No. Oh my god. Like, the ability that's supposed to heal doesn't heal.
Okay, these are all of them. I mean, look how many they are. Look at all the bugs, conduit issues, legendary bug issues, again, borrowed powered systems, and then just class issues, spell and talent bug issues that still exist in the game. And if you go to the very bottom, even when they address it here today, this morning, 15 minutes ago, they put out a post saying that they've corrected some of the issues, they fixed a couple bugs.
Closer and closer to SCO UI, you know, it's not good. I don't want that shit.
Exactly.
Basis. There's no reason that it takes 4 months for a game that you pay $15 a month for. There's no reason that it takes 4 months to respond one time.
It's like, okay, all right, so basically we got there's a person made a forum post that said that there's a bug in the game. So I talked to Martha, and she's gonna set up a meeting. Actually, she needs to talk to you know, Ian's secretary, and then they're gonna have to talk about whenever we can set up a meeting, and then we can get together and talk about possible solutions for this. And then after we have that meeting, we'll have to have another meeting with the programmers and explain to them our vision of the game and how we feel like the game isn't exactly, you know, existing in the same way that it should be. And then next week, you know, Bill's got that week off, so we're not going to get anything done that week. It is what it is, right? So then the week after that, then we've got to have Bill come back, so we need to have another meeting to catch Bill up on what he missed last week. And then also by that time, we've got to reevaluate the situation, and we've got the new patch. And it's like at a certain point, you get to this. This is like this corporate bloat that just makes it impossible to do anything. Like, why is this my actual work? Yeah, like nothing ever gets done. Like, you have Path of Exile. It's like, oh, heists suck. Oh, really? Chris is like, oh, really? Okay, all right, well. Yeah, okay. All right, they suck. Let's change it. All right, let's change. There's a hotfix. Here you go. That's it. It's done. Just fix it. Like, okay. All right. Yeah, they get it. But, like, drain the swamp. Like, fucking break down these artificial barriers of communication and bullshit that the company has, because it makes the company impossible to work and make decisions in an agile way. Like, that's obviously what's happening. It's annoying. If actually you got about Shadowlands, you think there might be another decade of content in store? Yeah, of course.
4 months, 120 days to get a response?
Yeah.
About all of the feedback? I mean, if you want people to provide written feedback, you need to incentivize it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, here's another post that I found. I was just stumbling across the forums, and you can see here that
we are begging you to communicate.
Blizzard, we know you love this game as much as your players, so they're trying to be nice.
Yep.
Talk to your players. That's all we're asking for. If it's too late to brainstorm ideas with your player base, that's all right, but at least an open dialogue.
I want to go back to the idea that I had with Blizzard a long time ago, and that has to do with Blizzard doing the Monday afternoon meetings. And this is the Blizzard Monday afternoon meeting where Ian, maybe J. Allen Brack, probably not him, right, because he's busy with a lot of other stuff, and like maybe a few of the other guys on the WoW team, and like Josh Allen, you know, community manager, they get together and they take out some lawn chairs in the back of the Blizzard headquarters, and they bring out, you know, a few packs of beer, and they just sit around and get drunk and ask and answer questions about the game and talk about where the game's going. They just sit out there and they're just drinking and they just talk about the game, and do this like every other Monday. Like, I really think that that would probably be like the best thing that Blizzard could possibly do to make the game good. Because you can guarantee that, like, if Ian got drunk, he'd probably say some stupid ass shit about the game, and we'd be like, Ian, I fucking knew it. See, we knew you were doing this shit. Now stop doing it. HR and relations teams wouldn't let him. Yeah, because of artificial fucking red tape that they created. It's just stupid. Like, there's no reason, like, yeah, it's just stupid. Like, nobody cares about that shit. Like, all of this, like, artificial PR problems, nobody cares. Like, nobody really cares. Like, there's, like, 3 people on Twitter that are like, I don't like this. Who gives a fuck?
That is one thing that they need to learn. I know Blizzard has this philosophy where they like to not discuss things until they have, like, an idea in mind, or they don't like to, you know, release anything until it's kind of polished or completed. That's fine when you're regularly updating the game. But when it takes you 4 months and you haven't said anything, you need to say something. That policy doesn't work when it takes you 4 months to not even acknowledge the feedback. And to me, it's such an issue. I mean, even here, for example, there is a podcast here where Sloopbag, if you want to check that out, I'll have a link to the info box, or a link to in the info box below if you want to check this video out for yourself. They're essentially saying, this guy Abolito here, he was saying during this podcast that he's been doing bug fixes and Q&A testing for this, for Shadowlands, for the Monk class for months, for Mistweavers for months, and he hasn't heard anything. And they were just saying that if all they got was just feedback that they are reading through these responses and these forum posts, that they'd feel much better about it, right?
Because like, here's the thing, is that you don't even know, like, this guy. This is a fucking, like, this is an unpaid internship. No, it's not an unpaid internship. This is an unpaid full-time job. Like, this dude is playing the game all the fucking time, and he's getting this information to him, and they can't say thanks. Or, hey, yeah, we're fixing this. You know Razorgore the Untamed, the first boss in BWL? So, for about 5 years, Razorgore the Untamed, after he died, would still summon mobs indefinitely for the entire time. You could be in the raid for like an hour and he would just keep summoning more and more mobs, and it would never go away. And then so there was this other, that was a bug, and then there was the other bug that whenever you killed him, even after you destroyed all the eggs, sometimes he'd still blow up and kill you. Surprise! Woohoo! Hoo-hoo-hoo! And this is what would happen. It was absolutely it's absolutely fucking insane. Like, really, I don't even know what the fuck to say about it, man. I'm so frustrated about this because it's like, you know what this is. You know what the fuck this is. You know what's gonna happen. And they don't fix this shit. There's been bugs in the game for like 10 years, 5 years.
So they're working on something or they're not, just probably only 5 years is important. Now, what I want to talk about now is what's the big deal with monks, for example, right?
Yeah, what's the deal with monks?
We mentioned it earlier that borrowed-powered systems really affect Blizzard's ability to balance the game. It affects their ability to correct a lot of the underlying issues with the classes because they have to spend so much time on these like covenants and these soulbinds and these conduits and these legendaries,
because they've created all these problems that they now have to solve that they would have never had to create or deal with if they had just focused on making the classes better. But now they're creating all of these secondary systems that are taking all of their development time away from actually making the core of the game better.
Azerite traits, these essences, these corruptions, that's where all of the tuning goes. It doesn't go towards the classes, and this is a very amazing
that is a big
screenshot here that he put up.
What is this?
And you can see that this is, if you look here, this is Mistweaver Monk performance over the last 6 raid tiers, because there's so many issues with the class.
Oh no!
It doesn't bring anything valuable.
Revival is pretty cool. I like Revival's a great ability, and that's literally it.
Mana issues. There's like bugs with the class. There's so many fundamental problems with the class. And it stayed at the bottom by a considerable amount. I mean, I'm not even talking between like Holy Paladin and Resto Druid. We're talking about Monk being at the very bottom, except in Battle for the Zara lore, where they did pretty, they did pretty well.
He was about to say they did pretty well, but he stopped himself because it's like, they didn't do pretty well. They did pretty well compared to how well they did on the other tiers. Like, BOD was actually really well balanced whenever you look at it there. That's really, really good balance. But the rest of this is like, not really amazing. Imagine being a Mistweaver right now. It's like you've been cucked for 6 tiers in a row, and you're just going for 7.
They pretty well, they did okay, but they don't bring the utility that a lot of these other classes bring. There's like 0 damage reduction. If you look at Restoration Shaman being on par with them here, they bring way more utility to the raid than Mistweaver Monks do. So they're just like the bottom of the barrel healer. And the same exists for Windwalker Monks. You saw all of those bugs that I just showed you, and I'm going to show you the Wowhead meters here. This is Windwalker Monk performance. You can see here it's at the very bottom for Nyalotha. If I go to Eternal Palace, it's also going to be at the very bottom for an entire expansion. If I go to Battle for the Zara lore, I'm sure it's at the bottom of the barrel for the entire expansion.
See, like, here's, Windwalkers suck. I mean, that's good. That's what they should suck, because monks are stupid. But the thing is that if they're gonna make the class suck, like I've always been a fan, it's like, here's what I think they should do. Just new patch, log on, and the monk class is just grayed out. It's not in the game anymore. And you get a free reroll to any class you want with the same gear, and you just play a new class. And just take it out the game. Like, I do everybody a favor. It'd be great. And the only monk class I'm okay with, or monk spec, is Brewmaster. I think Brewmaster is cool. Mistweaver and Windwalker is fucking annoying. Regardless, yeah, it's like they shouldn't just make it suck like this, though. This is just sad.
And this doesn't just exist in PvE. The same goes for PvP.
Okay.
Right? In PvP, you have the same issues with a lot of classes where certain specs stay at the top and don't get addressed, and certain specs stay at the very bottom and stay bad for an entire expansion. Like 2 years.
Look at Warriors,
there's not
man.
any tuning.
Look at Warriors. Like, look at the Destro Warlocks. Like, look at that. Destro Warlocks are just dominating the entire fucking expansion except for the very beginning. The very beginning, they weren't really. Well, they're above healers. Like, and healers should have, like, just by definition, more representation because there's less of them to choose from. So each class you'd have more representation, right? But no, Destruction Warlocks are just these unkillable gods that do max damage. It's insane. Look, it says February 2020. Yeah, oh wow, that's right. They weren't good once. There was one point where they weren't good, and then the entire rest of the expansion, they were completely dominant.
We're going to do to address these issues. So here we go. So this is Battle for Azeroth Season 4. 3v3 arena representation, spec representation above 2200. So this is a good just little middle gauging point to see like what specs are, you know, doing well and what specs you're just not seeing. And you can see here that this was the longest season, I think, in WoW's history, if I'm not mistaken. It was about it's going to be about 9 months.
I think
you can see that the Destruction Warlock,
I'm not sure,
for months was unchecked as just the most ridiculous class I think we've ever seen in WoW's history. I mean, there's probably some examples of other classes that got close, but I would argue that BFA Warlock was just
way more.
Created so many problems in PvP, and it stayed
like if I knew this shit was gonna happen, I would have just re-rolled to my Warlock. Like, I would have just done PvP on my Warlock. I said, fuck it, man. Like, if this is gonna be that much better, like, what the hell am I doing playing on this dog shit ass character? There's no reason to do that, man. I don't understand it at all. Now Warlock is brain dead? Yeah, that's why I'd want to play it.
Unchecked for months, and it's still been unchecked. The only reason why it comes down here is that Rogue Mage kind of starts to come up. And then you also have, you know, Fire Mage coming up.
Just still below Warlock.
Mage Lock, and then you have Rogue Mage, and then all these classes kind of just play together, and they're just miles ahead better than all the other classes. But during this entire time, we didn't see any patch notes that really addressed the Warlock problem until like the very end, and there were such minor tunings that they didn't really do anything. And if they had been regular tunings and not focused on Azerite traits, essences, or corruptions, then we'd probably have a lot more have a much more balanced game for both PvE
Very true and so real.
Okay, but there are also some specs that just stay bad for the entire expansion. So when they talk about meaningful choice of your covenants,
well, it is meaningful because it means if you're good or not. It's simple. This is the let's look at the bottom here. This is the Arcane Dream. Bitch, this is a nightmare. That's a fucking nightmare. Like, that's at the very bottom. Like, he's getting overrepresented by, like, tanks. It's sad, man. It's just fucking sad. Like, they need to... Oh, this is crazy.
That's not really the meaningful choice, because at the end of the day, you can kind of just switch those around. Like, it's a 2-week little question they're talking about. People are saying pull the ripcord. I feel like the more important fundamental problems are the classes. Like, the fact that Marksmanship Hunter has stayed bad. So if you see here on the screen, you can see that at 0% representation is the Marksmanship Hunter. And this goes all the way to the end here. All the way throughout the entire season. I can move my camera here for you if you'd like. All the way.
Wait, I just realized that they put red on the second page. Yeah, look at Ret Paladins. Ret Paladins are just fucking trash. Look at them. They're all the way down there at the bottom. And like, here's what's so crazy about it, is that the top, like the difference, I feel like I'm Bernie Sanders right now. The difference between me and a Ret Paladin, like the 1% of classes, like the Warlocks, the Mages, the Rogues, like they're so Baldy, shut up, Baldy, fucking stupid ass, shut the fuck up. Like they're so far above the rest of us that we don't even compete. Like it's like the same difference between like me, like my class, and the worst Arcane. Arcane's basically the worst class, right? There is a bigger difference between just me and a Fire Mage than me and the worst class. And Fire Mages are like the second above me. Like this balance is fucking insane. Like it's just some classes are just way fucking better. They're way overrepresented. Do you think they should do class balance faster? Yes, they need to do class balance faster. Yes.
Till the end, you have Marksmanship Hunter at the very bottom, and the classes that it's associated with are tank classes, tank specs, Protection Warrior, Blood DK. You also have Affliction Warlock that stayed back for the entire expansion. You know, Brewmaster Monk, and Vengeance Demon Hunter. That's not how it should be. If you're not familiar with PvP, no DPS spec should be that low in comparison to tank specs. Now you do have like randomly like Prot Paladin that'll come out. But
it's pretty funny to me whenever a tank gets overrepresented. It has more representation than the DPS class in Arena. That's just, you know, really goes to show it's like, man, they're really doing a good job.
Actually has high representation.
Yeah.
Like Fury Warrior, and then even an Enhancement Shaman. Like an Enhancement Shaman stayed bad
there's
for a
dozens
long
of people that
time.
play Enhancement Shaman. What do you mean?
Where is it? It's like right here at 0.5%. Again, it's not like they didn't know about these issues, right? Because I'm sure Blizzard has these statistics. If Arena Mate has these statistics, I'm sure Blizzard has these statistics, right? Some way. But again, they want written feedback, and maybe they want to hear it from the community. So let's talk about written feedback. Let's see if anyone complained about these problems on the forums. Well, if we go to the forums here, you can clearly see
it's Alliance Destiny to be destroyed, this expansion, just like how they destroyed Horde, Warcraft 1 and 2. Well, that's because the Horde and Warcraft 1 and 2 were the bad guys. Like, that doesn't count. The Alliance have always been the good guys. The Hordes have always been the bad guys. And then they tried to change it in Warcraft 3 because they thought it would be more interesting. Like, the Horde were they were the antagonists. The Alliance were the good guys. That's all there was to it. What a stupid...
Nerf Destro. Destro nerf. So Destro Warlocks.
Yep.
Getting Destro nerfed. Destro Fire is insane. So Destro nerfs. Is there still a possibility or question mark?
Destro
fix is required. Nerf Destro, nerf Destro.
Well, the thing is, like, obviously you're going to have people asking for destruction to get nerfed, right? It's like you take a Chaos Bolt for 300k right in the fucking face, and the next thing you're doing is going to the forums, okay? Like, obviously, that's fucking ridiculous. And the idea that this is balanced for, like, only high-end players is not true at all. Like, this completely dominates the tournaments as well. I remember watching a tournament, and it was like Destruction Warlock Fire Mage against another comp. It really doesn't matter what the other comp was, right? And you could tell within a minute and a half of the game that the other team was going to lose. You knew they were going to lose.
Very well, like you were saying, because of his shooting accuracy, and that has been plaguing really both Solary and Rick's GG, not being able to hit those open nets.
Snake's eyes aren't very good, but they can detect movement. So if the hatchling keeps its nerve, it may just avoid detection.
But my high's doing better? It's not though, not that much. I slept like 2 hours. Do it. Damn, dude! Absolutely rolled.
Escape.
Damn, dude. Holy shit. Watch the Hulk video? Okay, dude. You're finally banned. I finally call you pussy motherfucker, dude. I banned you for 11 days. Fuck you, suck my balls, man. Fucking anime trash all the time, dude. I actually got him. I finally got him. I click his link every day, and I never catch him. And today, I finally fuck call you, pussy. You weirdo.
Was up XQC, let's play some XQCL.
Am I gonna watch this? Doesn't look that good. Guys, what Hawk video?
XQCP was pumping.
You just watch one last video. Is this the one? Alright, man.
XQCL in chat.
Okay. Alright, one more time and I'm doing TikTok.
See here that one of the first questions in this Q&A is, you promised us better communication. But this was back...
I didn't even read it. Oh no. Oh my god, what is going on, man? Like, I don't understand, man. Can't have a negative dislike ratio? Bro, that's true. They don't have negative dislike ratios in their Q&A videos anymore. Because they don't do them. Problem solved. You don't gotta worry about it. There's no negative dislike ratio at all.
In 2018.
Smart.
December 14th, 2018.
Really
now,
smart.
if you look at the beginning of the expansion, people weren't that unhappy about, we were getting regular Q&As. It was the start of the expansion. These bars.
They had more hair. Like, can really, like, look at the difference in their hair. Like, fucking BFA literally made, like, part of their hair. Like, look at that. Like, holy shit, bro. Oh my god. Game Gordon, thanks for the tier 3 sub, man. Appreciate that. Oh no. Maybe it's the lighting, but, it's certainly funny to see.
We were getting regular Q&As.
Yeah.
It was the start of the expansion.
Yeah.
These borrowed-powered systems hadn't really bled out the game too much yet.
Yeah.
But as the expansion went on, and we were getting them from March, then April, and then June, and then July, all in 2018, mind you. August.
Dude,
we get to December.
I love this because I remember this was like free content. This is free content like every 5 weeks or every month or so. I could count on that Blizzard will go and they would do one of these Q&As and then I'd be able to watch it on my stream. Like, I could count on that shit 100%. And now Blizzard's not feeding me any more free content. I gotta do more mount runs again. Fuck, dude. Like, come on, just make a video so I can react to it.
But then something happens around here where it gets really bad, right? It gets really bad. Players are frustrated. They want better communication. What's going on? There's all these issues with the game. And it's very apparent that these issues are a result of all of these systems that they've been trying to balance. And they're not fixing the issues with the classes and just game design. They're just focused on making these systems work, which just, they don't work.
Yeah.
They don't work. Anyway, so then we can go forward now. We can go forward, and then in March, we got our last official Q&A. And this was the last time, March 2000.
Look at, man, they look so concerned. They're like, fuck, man. It's like you sit down and you're like, listen, guys, man, we saw you take the cookies. We saw your fucking hand in the jar. There's your fingerprints on the inside of the jar. We know you got the cookies. And they're gonna look exactly like that, man. Exactly like that.
2019, not March 2020. This is March 2019.
Yeah.
And this was our last Q&A. And then we actually got a kind of developer update, and I prefer this style, right? So they don't have to do the Q&As.
This was awesome.
This is in June of 2019.
This was good.
Where Ian came out and he actually started talking about all of the issues with the game.
And look at the fucking like-dislike ratio. So it's not like people are just like, oh, I hate Blizzard. I dislike everything about Blizzard. Dislike. I don't like them. No, that's not what's happening at all. People watched it. They didn't like it. Like, that's actually what it is. Because if it wasn't, then you'd see the same like-dislike ratio for all the videos. And they're different, which means that people aren't just doing it based off of some sort of like fucking preconception.
Sorry about this, we messed up on this wasn't done correctly. And if had this been something that was more regularly done,
yeah,
I think, you know, responding to some of the complaints that were really plaguing the game,
Yeah.
I think they'd get better player response, right? People would be
Big
happier.
agree,
And it
and
shows
so
right
true.
here, for example. He responds to a lot of the
Big true
questions
and
here,
so
and he says
agree.
that we're sorry and that we're working better
We're
on stuff,
sorry.
and it was received well.
I've heard that
It was
before.
received well, people enjoyed it. And then we get to
Yeah.
this. So we had one in June, and
Yeah.
then we have one in October. So quite some time to October
I
2019.
remember, I'll watch this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this one addressed none of the issues. It was just
Yeah.
letting you know what's coming in the patch. This was so our official last feedback from Blizzard was back in.
And that was okay, right? I mean, like, whenever I watched this one, and that was good. Players will never be happy. They always move on to another thing to moan about or move another goalpost. What do you mean, man? Like, I think that it's so... I think you guys just, like, some of these people, like, you look at, like, the dumbest 8 people, right? The dumbest 8 people in the comment section. There's gonna be one guy, man, I can't believe Blizzard. Oh, shit, wait, I forgot to call them what they are now. I hate how China does all this bad shit to the game. I can't believe they're gonna ruin everything, make this shit pay to win. Fucking Diablo Immortal bullshit. You know, free Hong Kong. And like, you can't really base the feedback off of those people, right? It's like kind of saying that, like, oh, my community hates me, whenever there's like 5 hate watchers in chat that just keep making new accounts every day on a VPN. So like, it's not that big of a thing. Like, yeah, you're gonna have dumb people, but the community wants kind of the same thing. And like, really, even if, like, the thing is with the Covenants, I completely disagree with what Blizzard's direction is with the Covenants, but at least they've gone back and they've they've defended it over and over and over. And at this point, you know, I can respect the fact that they've at least tried to defend their decision. You know, they've at least tried to defend their decision. I think that's a good thing.
June of 2019.
It is.
And we have October, and that's it. That was the last
That's
time
it.
we had actually received any feedback from Blizzard.
Yeah.
Now you also have, you know, your blue post notes.
Yeah.
But I want to show you now how much of an issue these borrowed powered systems have on the game. You can see here that when the game was so stale and there were still these issues. Now I know a lot of people are going to say, well, after the last patch, they're working on the next expansion. I'm sorry. That is an outrageous excuse.
Not even is that an excuse, because what happens, I feel like after the first patch, you could just say after the expansion comes out, they're working on the next expansion. So there's never a point where they can actually fix the problems in the current expansion because they're always thinking about the next one. So you never have to do that because it's always just the next one that's going to happen. This to me is just fucking embarrassing. Okay, it's called being stubborn, doesn't deserve respected. No, it does. Like I think that Blizzard is completely wrong with the Covenant. I think they're being stubborn. I think they're being naive. I think they have no idea what they're talking about. But I can respect the fact that they are actually going out of their way to defend what they are doing and make the decisions for the game in the way that they believe, okay? Even though I think that they're fucking wrong, I can respect that, okay? Does that make sense? So I don't want to talk about that too much more. But overall, this is insane. This is absolutely insane. Like, I think the biggest mauled out moment for me, like, when in BFA did I mauled out the hardest? Oh, wow. That is a big question. Every day? No, I think about things they've done. I think that the biggest thing for me was whenever Ian said, and I said this before, Ian said that the Azerite respec cost was a problem. So that was like God saying, I'm going to, I've given everybody original sin, but I'm not going to send down Jesus. And there's nothing we can do about it. Hey, it is what it is. Yeah, it's the way it goes. Because, like, he had a problem, right? Because he could just send down Jesus to solve the original sin problem. You know, Jesus died, got rid of original sin. But Blizzard is God. Send down Jesus and just fix the fucking cost if you think that it's a problem. Holy shit.
You still need to worry about your current product. You still need to make your current customers happy so they stay around for the next expansion, right? You want to ensure that your current product looks good so that the next one is promising, right? You don't want to have this narrative that, well, BFA sucked, so let's fix it in the next one, because that's typically what WoW goes for. But if they were better about responding to feedback and just doing changes at all with the actual classes, you'd have less work going into the next expansion. But they don't. Instead, they have to focus on nerfing essences, corruptions, and you can see here that there's tons of tunings that are all based on these borrowed powered systems. You can see here, like, oh, wait a minute, July 9th, class changes. Nope, these aren't class changes. The mana cost of Shadow Bolt has been reduced by 25%. This is to help Warlocks stop running out of mana because of the high haste levels. The high haste levels due to expedience. So that
nobody
is an
would have
after
expected
effect
that.
of corruptions. They're
Who
going
could have ever
essentially,
expected that?
Which it's insane to imagine that classes run out of mana nowadays in
Yeah,
modern
it is,
day
actually.
WoW because they're casting so many spells. This is in
Yeah,
classic
I
WoW.
don't think- I
You
don't
see
know
it for
when the last time
Affliction,
I've seen a
you
class
see it for
run out of
Destruction
mana.
Warlock. The only time that we actually got changes to classes, and they were very minor, I think was back in February. If I go all the way
Wait,
down
really?
here, I had already looked through this. We got some changes
Holy
to Resto
shit.
Druids. There was some Marksmanship Hunter buffs, some
What?
Frost Mage buffs, some Windwalker buffs, 3%, 5%, and these would be great. These are actually fun. I get it. You can't fundamentally redesign a class mid-expansion. I'm not naive to that. But you could do minor tunings every month, and you could respond, have an intern do it, right? Like, you could literally...
It was like 5 months. All right, guys. Finally, after 300 man hours of deliberation, we've decided that we are going to increase the abilities of enhancement shamans by 3%. All right. Let it go out there. Let it go out there. That's it. All right, everybody, come on. Come on. We're going to put it out there. Let them know.
Have an intern write up a little response to some of the issues with the game. Hey, we know that these classes are underperforming. Have that get checked by higher up, and then post it just to have constant communication between you and your community, because that is one of the major problems. Now, I actually want to end the video with this.
Okay.
And I thought this was a great way to end the video. This was the April 2020 April Fool's Blue Post. If you're not familiar with what this is, essentially Blizzard every April 1st, every April Fool's Day releases a Blue Post where they talk about like all these little funny jokes in relationship to like some classes. You can see here they have like little funny things about like microtransactions and whatever.
It's really
essences. And they're essentially
that.
just like funny jokes. World Vein now hurts your ears 20% less, right? If you look at Death Knight, Death Grip never really
Boys
did
with
what it
sound.
says and caused death, rather than mere inconvenience to the target. So Death Grip has been renamed Tug Throat, right? They're just little jokes here. It'd been so long since we had seen anything, and I remember Shamans in particular were in the worst spot. Like, they weren't good in anything. Like, Enhance was bad, Elemental was bad, they were barely good in PvP. I mean, Enhance has been horrible in PvP for so long, but all of those classes were just specs were just awful. And
So
they had
true.
I mean, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, but they had the audacity to write up a little funny thing. And they had the time to do all of this. But then if you go down to Shaman, they literally said, no adjustments needed. And I just...
Hey, fuck them, dude.
I mean, I
fuck them, dude.
I don't understand it. I mean, what?
Yeah,
like,
it is what it is, man.
That's like a horrible PR move, man. Like, you're really gonna take the time to do this when the state of the game was at an all-time low, and then you're gonna say no adjustments needed? I mean, that's That's just wrong, man. I mean, I know for a lot of other classes,
it's like, all right, if I didn't, it's already a joke. Well, that's the thing, is like they didn't need to make a joke in the April Fool's post because the class balance notes for the actual class were funny enough. Yeah, they didn't need to do it. It's like, just play the class. Yeah, I mean, that's all there is to it.
It's probably funny, but I mean, come on. So I wanted to show you guys all of this and kind of break everything down and not just show you like the broken abilities that are one-shotting people in the game, but kind of show you that this has been a problem for a really long time.
Yeah.
And the point of this video is not to say that it's, you know, it's a doomsday video. I'm super excited for Shadowlands. I can't wait to play Shadowlands. There's a lot of good things about the game that I'm excited about.
Same,
PvP
actually.
vendors,
yeah, big same. So true.
You know, just new content in general. I love how the transmogs look, like the appearances for a lot of the armor sets look great. The zones,
feel that way as well.
It's leveling, it's fun. The dungeons feel fun. The raids look cool. Like everything's gonna be fun, but I really want, at least at the bare minimum, Blizzard to do a better job.
Here's the thing, right? Is like we have to like the game, because a lot of us that have played WoW for 15 years, we really don't even like video games. We just like WoW. And so if this game sucks, there's nothing else for us to do. Like, that's it. That's it. That's all there is. Like, we have to go outside. You have to like make friends in real life. Like maybe learn how to play soccer or something. No, I don't want to do that. I want to sit in my room, play video games. What the hell is going on? Yeah, we have to make the game good. We want to make it as good as possible because it's all we fucking do.
Applying to feedback. You know, we go above and beyond as a community to help this game get better.
Yeah.
And I am not trying to be mean when I say this, but we need to hold them more accountable, and they need to do a better job. I mean, I know at BlizzCon they had that little thing where they said they were going to do a better job, and I'm sure that was in response to all the other stuff that was going on, the bad press.
Well, there we go. All right, they're going to do a better job.
This meaningful choice thing. I mean, honestly, like I said earlier, the real meaningful choice is picking your class.
They said they were going to do a better job, guys.
The wrong one, and at the rate at which we get changes in this game, it can end up in the dumpster. It can absolutely end up in the dumpster for a long time. And if you want to play this game somewhat competitive, you know, you better pick the right class or good luck. Anyways, I just wanted to share that all with you guys today. I hope you found the video helpful or informative. Please let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your frustrations. You know, share this video with somebody that you think would enjoy it or find it useful or informative. I really appreciate you guys' time. Thanks to all the new subscribers. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
I don't get it, man. I really don't fucking get it. It's just so fucking weird, man. Like, I like the video. Let me link the video, and we'll watch the Savix video in a second. But doesn't it feel like a heroin addict? Well, the thing is, no, it's like, it's not like that big. Like, here's the thing, is like, WoW is like such a big core part of like a lot of people's lives. It's like, this is the game they play. They've played this game forever. There's no other game that's really like WoW. So it's not like, you know, if COD sucks, you just go play like Apex Legends, or you go play PUBG, or you go play like, you know, Rainbow Six or something like that. So you don't get to go, if League sucks, you just go and you play, what do you call it? You go and you play Dota or like Heroes of the Storm or something like that. There's no other game that's really like WoW. Like Final Fantasy doesn't really play like WoW does. Realistically, it does not. So I don't think Final Fantasy is a good comparison. The point that I'm making is that a lot of this other stuff, yeah, we're going to watch the Savix video, okay, guys? I just wanted to link the video and show it. Now, I'll go ahead and I'll read a few of these comments, and then we're going to move on to the next one. It's not the same type of thing. Never played it. How do you know? Because I've watched the game. Like, I've watched a number of hours of gameplay for it. I think I can, you know, make an assumption at that point what the game plays like. I don't know. I think that's pretty fair. Blizzard crap, another Stoops video. I guess we were so caught up in the fight to bring back PvP gear vendors who couldn't even focus on our problems with class balance and borrowed power. Now you just need to write everything down that you said in the video because Blizzard needs fit and feedback, apparently. Sylvan ass.
People rifted. Sorry.
Oh, cool.
That's what I. Yeah. I got splooshes for you. I just keep splashing my juice all over you today, don't I? You can top off here.
You top me off?
I mean, I'd love to top you off. Unfortunately, I can't physically put these mushrooms in your mouth unless.
Oh my god.
Black, we're together.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Rebel Eyes. They were together. He killed him. Yeah, vote him off. Vote him off.
Yep. Okay.
100%.
So, Reb, before we throw you out the airlock, why'd you do it?
She
I was
just
surprised
doing
you guys
wires,
didn't
Reb.
hit the button to call the meeting anyway.
She was just doing wires.
Smile.
They were probably the perfect wires and you ruined it.
The parallel wires.
All right, goodbye, Reb.
Yeah.
Feel free to vote for yourself, too. I think you did.
It's not bugged.
All right, if we win here and it was Tim, Keck W. If it was not Tim and we go to the next round, I'm still gonna laugh, but man, that sucks. Damn it! Oh, Tim, you look so suspicious though, dude. What are you doing? Oh man, it was not Tim. That's funny. Well, at least we got one, dude. Sometimes you just gotta take a shot. Wait, Vicky just came out of down here. Wait, Vicky, what did you just do down here? Wait, Vicky. Vicky, don't kill me. Ah, shit. I don't think it's Vicky because she's been around me like the whole time. Since Med. I think she's in security now, right? Comms? Who does comms? Crafty, Vicky. Crafty came from over here. If Vicky's dead, it's gotta be Crafty. Why is she just chilling there? She's done with it already. Hey. Is it Crafty? Ghost, do your tasks. Ghost, do your tasks. Smile. I was with Vicky for a large portion of that. From Med Bay all the way around, basically down into comms. Crafty was there for a second, came from right side. I did not see Char the whole time.
I think Chariana could have possibly called an emergency meeting so that we were not doing our tasks.
Or to hide the body.
Or that.
I called a meeting because I spent a large majority of the game with Gunny. I finished tasks, comms got called, so I left Gunny in Medbay. Went to go clean up comms, saw Crafty and Vicky there. Went back to cafeteria and called the meeting.
Okay.
And now Gunny is dead.
We got half a bar of tasks left and 4 people.
So-
we don't have to vote right now. Well, in fact, we shouldn't because we don't have enough.
There's only one imposter left, otherwise this game would be over.
Yep. Yeah. Right. So if we vote now and we're wrong, then they get 1 kill and they win. So I would say don't vote. Get tasks done.
I'm confused. Why?
I need a spice girl. Ziggy, ziggy, I fuck up my whole world. Pause when she talk nothing like old girl. Scary and sporty. Tell her what I really, really want is a spice girl. Ziggy, ziggy, I fuck up my whole world. Pause when she talk nothing like old girl. Scary and sporty. Tell her what I really, really want is a spice girl. Freaking little mama. Said she on a diet, so she only eat bananas. Always in your prime, other women don't align. And when I'm off work, then you know it's bedtime.
Yo, Shiro. They give it a Twitch Prime, bro. I have him with energy and RLCS. What do you mean? We won the most recent regional, so it's really good because that's like world championship points and for major points as well. Yeah, we're doing good. We got second and first so far. The first two regionals. Can't complain. It's gonna be very back and forth, but everyone's good. Top of NA, like anyone can win. I do it.
Only on the camera, they deceiving, super thieving. They finish come and go, like when they weaving. I never listen to the scheming type. Yeah, I want the sporty, scary ginger spice. I wanna know, is this real or fake?
I should know. I don't know why.
I have a chance or am I paving ways? I'm trying to find a reason not to say your name. Like you, there's no look alike. I need a spice girl. Ziggy, ziggy, I fuck up my whole world. Pause when she talk nothing like old girl. Scary and sporty. Tell her what I want, what I really, really want is a spice girl. Ziggy, ziggy, I fuck up my whole world. Pause when she talk nothing like old girl. Scary and sporty. Tell her what I want, what I really, really want is a my girl's a spice girl. Her world's in my world. And most of all, she's fine to me. In line with the infatuation I feel. I need a spice girl.
Pulling out the coupe at the lot. Told her fuck 12, fuck SWAT. Buzzing all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with the box. Had to put the stick in the box. Pour up the whole damn seal. I'ma get lazy. I got
better off alone, and you're just living in the moment. The feelings that you have should be yours right now. I'll never say the words when time runs out. I think we lost ourselves for a minute. Couldn't see the ending for the beginning. The feelings that you have should be yours right now. Right now. If you want this love, maybe I should leave. 'Cause I don't wanna pull you down with me. I'm a broken soul. If only you could see. 'Cause I don't wanna pull you down with me. Did you think that we would end up here? Feelings of the modern fear. You make it seem so easy. When you've got me living in the moment, driving on an open road. You make the silence golden. The feelings that you have should be yours right now. I'll never say the words when time runs out. I think we lost ourselves for a minute. Couldn't see the ending for the beginning. The feelings that you have should be yours right now. Right now. If you want this love, maybe I should leave. 'Cause I don't wanna pull you down with me. I'm a broken soul. If only you could see. 'Cause I don't wanna pull you down with me. If you want this love, maybe I should leave. 'Cause I don't wanna pull you down with me. I'm a broken soul. If only you could see. 'Cause I don't wanna pull you down with me. If you want this love, if you want this love.
We're here to take you back with us.
faceless, we were born for greatness. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness.
Hollywood's bleeding, vampires feeding, darkness turns to dust. Everyone's gone, but no one's leaving, nobody left but us. Trying to chase a feeling, but we'll never feel it. Riding on our last train home. Dying in our sleep, we're living out a dream. We only make it out alone. I just keep on hoping that you call me. You say you wanna see me, but you can't right now. You never took the time to get to know me. We're scared of losing something that we never found. We're running out of reasons, but we can't let go. Yeah, Hollywood is bleeding, but we call it home. I just keep on hoping that you call me. You say you wanna see me, but you can't right now. You never took the time to get to know me. We're scared of losing something that we never found. We're running out of reasons, but we can't let go. Yeah, Hollywood is bleeding, but we call it home. I just keep on hoping that you call me. You say you wanna see me, but you can't right now. You never took the time to get to know me. We're scared of losing something that we never found. We're running out of reasons, but we can't let go. Yeah, Hollywood is bleeding, but we call it home. lose. At least I tried!